Baseball Day on Sportsnet. Presented by the 2013 Honda Civic. Canada's best-selling car 15 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Welcome to Canada Baseball Day, presented by Honda. The Blue Jays are wearing their red jerseys in honor of Canada Baseball Day, and it is Brett Lawrie bobblehead day. R.A. Dickey will go to the mound to try to make it 2 in a row against the Oakland Athletics. The two teams have split the first 2 games of this 4-game series. Now it's time to take a look at the lineup for Bob Melvin's Oakland A's. The lineups are brought to you by Quaker State, real, durable oil. Oakland pounded out 11 hits yesterday, but the Blue Jays beat them 5-4. When you look at the Oakland A's lineup, Jed Lowry is the DH this afternoon. He's 4 for 8 against R.A. Dickey. He's always hit well against the Blue Jays. He is the DH, and Josh Reddick. How about the series he's had? 5 for 9. All 5 hits have been home runs. His only 5 hits in the month of August. Josh Reddick has recaptured that home run stroke, and he'll put it to good use today against R.A. Dickey.
And they moved him up to the 5th spot in the order, so if he hits those home runs, there's some guys on base. R.A. Dickey, 25th start of the season, won his last game out. 6+ innings for 9 straight starts, snapped a 5-game winless streak last time out, pitched into the 8th inning against Seattle. He's only given up 1 earned run in his last 2 starts, 1 each in both of those, so that knuckleball's starting to dance just a little bit more. Blue Jays playing a little bit better behind R.A. Dickey now this year.
2 starts ago, he played very well, pitched well against Oakland in Oakland. Take a look at the defense. Emilio Bonifacio making his 11th start in the left field. Rasmussen Bautista on the infield. It's Lori Reyes, Yasturz, and Encarnacion, and Josh Tolley. As he does every time R.A. Dickey takes them out, he's behind the plate for the knuckleball.
And we have to highlight Brett Lawrie on Brett Lawrie bobblehead day today. Not because of that's pretty special, I think, but he has made some outstanding plays again here at Rogers Center. He's so quick at third base.
He is really the prototypical third baseman with quickness, athleticism, and arm strength. And today is Brett Lawrie bobblehead day, and it's complete with tattoos. Good job as he's captured sliding into a base.
Yeah, he told me, he said, I wish they had more tattoos on there, but he'll take it.
Coco Crisp has had a good series. Note Crisp batting as a right-handed hitter. He's a switch hitter, batting right-handed against R.A. Dickey. First pitch is fouled back, and we are underway. It is 22 degrees on a spectacular day. It's been a great weekend here in Toronto.
And this is something that we have seen from Coco Crisp, a switch hitter, batting right-handed against a knuckleballer. Trying to make things a little bit more difficult for R.A. Dickey to get that knuckleball in the strike zone.
Dickey, when he faced Oakland on the 31st of July, did not allow a home run. He did a good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. That was the first game in 6 starts in which he didn't allow a home run. And he's aware of his problems in this ballpark. He knows he's got to do something different, and with that, he was very late coming out of the bullpen.
Started at 1:45, warming up for this start. And he has said, one of the things I know I have to do when I pitch in this ballpark is concentrate on trying to keep the knuckleball down. Keep it down around the knees, down around the thigh area. He likes to elevate it at times to try and get strikeouts.
Coco Crisp has had a good series here against the Blue Jays. He's 5 for 10 in the series. Check that. He's 4 for 10 in this series. Got a walk and a couple of strikeouts. He also has scored a run and driven one in. And knuckleball misses downstairs. It's a full count. Eric Sogard playing shortstop today, and sporting the old-fashioned uni. Tried to catch the outside corner. Dickey thought he had made a good pitch with the fastball. Fans, it's time now for our BlackBerry Sneak Peek Stat of the Game, brought to you by the new BlackBerry Z10 and Q10, built to keep you moving.
You know, we talked about it a lot already about the home runs given up. Now we'll show you in the last 4 seasons for R.A. Dickey how the home runs per 9 innings have gone up for him. Part of that is being in the American League. Part of it is being into this ballpark right here. So what he has to do is he's got to concentrate on keeping the ball down, keeping it in the big part of the ballpark. That's left center to right center.
Eric Sogard takes a first pitch strike. Sogard making just his second start of the season at shortstop. He's been swinging a hot bat. He has a 14-game hit streak. He's hit 20-for-51 during that streak. Crisp, of course, is a threat to run. He has 16 stolen bases so far this season.
But he has been slowed over his last 40 or so games. He just hasn't been running like he has in the past.
Popped up and going to reach the seats along the right side. Coco Crisp only has 3 stolen bases in his last 46 games. Some of that has to do with a 195 batting average. He hadn't been on that often.
Yeah, right now he's not taking a real big lead over there at first base, trying to get a read on R.A. Dickey.
Not running. Sogard checked his swing. The appeal to Wally Bell says no swing.
Knuckleball a little bit harder, so you'll get a few more check swings, and Sogard holds up on that knuckleball. Dickey likes to throw the harder one with 2 strikes to get that strikeout.
And there it is. He gets the strikeout, first out of the ball game, 1 down.
Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Beautiful afternoon here on the shores of Lake Ontario. 1 out. Jed Lowry, the DH. He too is a switch hitter that chooses to bat right-handed against R.A. Dickey. We have seen this from time to time. Ben Zobrist, who the Blue Jays will face on their next road trip down in Tampa Bay, he too hits right-handed if things go well. We have seen him switch mid-game.
Yeah, mid-game after a couple of at-bats to go ahead and switch, but they're not trying to do anything cute. They're trying to make it a little bit more difficult for R.A. Dickey, being a right-handed pitcher, to get that knuckleball in. As a left-handed hitter, and you're standing out on the mound, there's a big window that you can shoot to left-handed batters.
Now he pulls it foul. That's a good point. From a pitcher's perspective, the knuckleballer looking in at Jed Lowry, there's nothing over to the left side of what Dickey sees. There's just no perspective for that strike zone. It's different with the left-hander. You've got the batter there standing and say, okay, I can get it into him right there.
I can throw it to the arm side, which is to the outside part for a left-handed batter. We used to get right on top of the plate. If you were facing a knuckleball pitcher like a Charlie Hoff or a Tom Candiotti, get right on top of that plate and make it difficult for them to try and control that ball and throw it for a strike. There's Jed Lowry. I wouldn't classify that as being on top of the plate, but he hit right-handed.
2-1. And swing and miss evens it at 2-2. Jed Lowry had a 4-hit game on Friday night. That tied his career high. It's the 5th time he's collected 4 hits in a ball game. Two balls, 2 strikes. Lowry strikes out back-to-back strikeouts after a leadoff walk.
The harder you throw it, maybe you'll get a little bit more dance to it. And that ball dances as it comes towards home plate against Lowry. That one's 78 miles an hour.
Knuckle sandwich working so far. 2 strikeouts. Yoenis Cespedes, the left fielder. Cespedes just 0 for 3 facing Dickey. You know he's going to swing.
Yeah. You don't have to throw for a strike the way that he goes up there hacking away.
The A's have struggled despite their season high 14 runs on Friday night. They've struggled offensively, hitting just .233 over their past 24 games. There's a little pop up behind second as Sturris fighting the sun. It's out there and makes the catch. The inning is over. R.A. Dickey walks the first man of the ball game, but leaves him stranded at first. When we come back, it'll be Jose Reyes, who had a big homer in the 7th inning yesterday. Myceris Sturris, and then Jose Bautista, who's swinging a red-hot bat in this series. Into 5 runs, and that was good enough for a 5-4 win. Take a look at the lineup now. Jose Reyes, top of the order, then Myceris Sturris. Jose Bautista, his last 12 games, he's been on fire. A .430 average with 3 homers and 7 RBIs, including 2 homers in this series. Edwin Encarnacion against A.J. Griffin, 2 for 6, including a home run the last time these two guys met out in Oakland.
A.J. Griffin, it's been a week since he last pitched. 6 days ago. On Sunday versus Texas, there are his numbers, 10-8. He won that 10th game against the Blue Jays, retired to the first 13 batters he faced.
Griffin's going to pound the strike zone. He is very aggressive in the strike zone. He told me the other day, he said hitting is hard. He says sometimes we give the hitter way too much credit. One thing the A's do, they don't walk anybody. They've issued the fewest walks in the major leagues, just 282 walks. Reyes lines it into right center. That'll get down for a base hit. Jose Reyes starts things off with a sharp single.
Well, one thing you're going to get from A.J. Griffin, you're right, he's all over that strike zone. He'll throw you a fastball. He will challenge you. It's what he gets right here, up and away from Reyes, and he's able to pull it. Told you last time he faced the Blue Jays, 13 straight settled down before Lynn homer. That's not going to happen this afternoon.
He doesn't waste any time, and that's what's led to his major league leading 28 home runs. He throws a lot of strikes. Myceris Sturris pops it up. It's playable. Outside of third, Josh Donaldson. You can see the fielders really battling the sun. It's a bright, hazy day, and everything in the air is going to be a challenge. Take a look at the defense for Oakland. They've committed 70 errors this season. Cespedes Chris back in center, and the Gold Glover, Josh Reddick in right. On the infield, Josh Donaldson at third. Eric Sogar, his second start at shortstop. Callaspo and Moss on the right side, and Stephen Vogt is the catcher.
And Bob Melvin has said he wants to give his left side of the infield a day off. So Sogar with that second start at shortstop today, normally the second baseman. Probably see Donaldson DH tomorrow to get them off their feet.
Jose Bautista. He's 10 for 20 against Oakland this season, and he's thinking about another homer. upstairs.
Jose is in one of those grooves right now where you see the ball. When you hit it hard. Everything that he has hit, he has squared up.
There's a drive to left field. Cespedes back at the wall, makes the catch. Reyes was all the way to second base. He'll get back to first easily, and Bautista just missed another home run.
Didn't get it like we've seen him in the past. That one might have been off the end of the bat a little bit. He had to reach for it. But in this ballpark, it was almost enough. Cespedes gets back to the wall to make the catch. Jose just missed it.
Edwin Encarnacion. They mentioned his head-to-head numbers against A.J. Griffin, and he pops it into shallow right field. Reddick on the run. He'll get there to make the catch to end the inning. The Blue Jays get a leadoff single and nothing else. A.J. Griffin needs just 10 pitches to set down the Blue Jays in the first.
Canada Baseball Day on Sportsnet, presented by the 2013 Honda Civic. Canada's best-selling car 15 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Welcome to Canada Baseball Day. It's also Brent Laurie Bobblehead Day, and you can see a lot of red jerseys in the stands and on the field as the Blue Jays are wearing their red jerseys. Special days, Canada Day and Canada Baseball Day, when they sport those red jerseys. Well, it's a scoreless game as we move to the second inning. Josh Reddick has had some series. He has 5 hits in August, and they've come in this series, and they've all been home runs.
Off of 5 different pitchers. This is his 6th different pitcher in this series.
Yeah, that's unusual. Generally, when you see a different pitcher, it takes you at bat or two to really get acclimated to what you're seeing, but he has been on everything. 3-1 count. Oftentimes, Dickey will throw a 3-1 fastball, but not to a guy that's as hot as Josh Reddick.
Yeah, all he has to do is read the newspaper and see how hot he is. Everything he's hitting, throw him another knuckleball.
Leadoff walk. Reddick reaches base. Fans, if you want your baseball questions answered by our team of experts, email asktheexperts@sportsnet.ca and keep your eye out for the home hardware Ask the Experts segment later on in the game. Now, Dickey started the first inning by walking Coco Crisp, and he starts the second in the same fashion. Leadoff walk to Josh Reddick. Third baseman Josh Donaldson will step in. First pitch strike. Donaldson just 2 for 8 in the series. He's hit a pair of doubles. Both of those doubles came in yesterday's ball game. On the ground, Laurie may have had a chance to go after it. Looked like he was going to go for it. Reyes played it off the backhand side. It kicked off his glove for a base hit. It looked to me like Laurie was going to take a shot at it, and I think he had a chance to make a play on it.
Yeah, and any time a third baseman can make that play, cut it off, hit the ball before it gets to the shortstop, you have to try. Donaldson, again, hits it in a perfect spot. Here comes Laurie. You see him stop just for a minute there. Maybe he thought that ball was a little bit closer to Reyes.
Yeah, it looked like that's what he judged, that Reyes had a better shot at it. So the first two reach here in the second. Brandon Moss goes after the first pitch. Moss did not play in yesterday's game. He was 0 for 5 on Friday night. Inside.
R.A. pitched really well against the Oakland A's when we were out there. Defense let him down. There were 4 errors, but if you remember, those were the fly balls that were in the air. It might have cost him a complete game. He pitched into the 8th inning. Some extra pitches, but he was throwing the ball in the strike zone, if you remember that day.
So Wednesday afternoon game in a brilliant sun really created problems for the Blue Jays on pop-ups and fly balls.
4 times they dropped pop-ups, adding to his pitch count.
Moss strikes out. Third strikeout for Dickey already this afternoon. The Yankees will be in town, take on the Blue Jays in a 3-game series. It begins Monday, August 26th. There are all 3 night games. They begin at 7:07 p.m. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com and stop by most Rogers Plus locations for your Yankee tickets. One out. Alberto Callaspo. Well, the switch hitters have shown that they're more comfortable against Dickey. Callaspo is the 3rd switch hitter we have seen hit right-handed against Dickey.
Looks like they have gotten together and said, okay, let's try right-handed. It worked with Crisp, him walking. Now Callaspo's chance. R.A. Dickey's knuckleball looks like it's dancing today. He's throwing it hard in the upper 70s.
I'm really surprised Oakland hasn't run yet. Coco Crisp was on base to lead off the inning, and he stood there and watched 3 outs go by. Ball and a strike. I don't care how you feel as a base runner. It's a challenge for Dickey and Tolley. First of all, the knuckleball barely touches 80 miles an hour. Secondly, it's difficult for Tolley to catch it and then grip it and throw it. I'm really surprised they haven't run. 1-2, 1 out. Callaspo slaps at it and stays alive.
Reddick can run.
Yeah,
he's at second base. He's 8 for 8 this year in stolen bases. And the Blue Jays, the middle infielders, basically giving him third base. They're not even ducking in, trying to hold him on.
So many things can happen with a knuckleballer on the mound. If you get that extra 90 feet, the next pitch might be a wild pitch pass ball and you score a run. 1-2, 1 out. Another foul back.
Well, to his credit, R.A. Dickey is very quick to home. He doesn't have barely a leg kick. He just grips it and rips it and gets rid of it very quickly, giving his catchers a chance to throw out a base runner.
Dickey is very quick and he's athletic on the mound, no question about that. Slow knuckleball popped up. Is Stewart now as the sun has gone behind the clouds. The infield fly rule was in effect. Callaspo is retired. The infielders are happy that the cloud cover has closed in over Rogers Center. So that'll bring Stephen Vogt to the plate, the catcher, number 9 hitter in the A's lineup. About just 0 for 3 against Dickey in their head-to-head matchup. Already missed with that first pitch inside. Vogt was 2 for 4 in the opener on Friday. There's a line drive to right. Bautista got a good break. It makes a knee-high catch to end the inning. Oakland is stranded 3 already. Bautista makes a nice running catch to end the top of the second. Still scoreless at Rogers Center. The Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame 2013 inductees include 2 superstar outfielders from the 80s, Tim Raines and George Bell. Rob Ducey, who played for both the Expos and the Jays over his 13-year career. Minor league owner Nat Bailey, who grew AAA baseball in Vancouver with the Mounties in the 50s. And our touch-em-all pal, Tom Cheek. Worthy recipients all as we celebrate Canada Baseball Day. Adam Lynn fouls it back, and throughout the day on this Canada Baseball Day, we will talk about great moments in Canadian baseball history, and of course, the late great Tom Cheek in his 43-06 consecutive games broadcast for the Blue Jays. Not only did he go into the Canadian Hall of Fame, but on July 27th, he was inducted into the broadcast wing of the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Adam Lind, behind 1-2, hits a hot shot off the glove of Brandon Moss. Moss again, he let that ball play him. He will pick up his 6th error of the season, and that's the way the Blue Jays start the second.
That ball was absolutely scorched by Adam Lind. He tries to get on the side of it and field it with 2 hands. I think you're a lot faster with just one. And that time that ball handcuffed him. Lind starts the second on first base.
Blue Jays have had their leadoff man in both of the 2 innings here. Reyes had a leadoff single. Lind aboard with the air. Kobe Erasmus. Rasmus has hit well against Oakland this season. .368 average. A homer and 6 RBIs.
They will challenge him. They'll play him to pull. Pitch him in, play him to pull.
A.J. Griffin is a former 13th round pick in 2010 by the Oakland Athletics. Falls behind 3-0.
Curveball. Hanger right there. Lind stays back on it and now recognizes it. Hit that ball hard. And that's something you don't see every day. A 4-pitch walk from A.J. Griffin.
First walk issued by Griffin. The first 2 reach here in the second. Brett Laurie on Brett Laurie bobblehead day has a chance to get this crowd into it early. Takes the first pitch strike from A.J. Griffin. Laurie hit a home run against Griffin last time they met out in Oakland. One of 3 home runs Blue Jays hit off A.J. Griffin.
Yeah, he tried to challenge him that day with a fastball inside, and Brett turned on it.
The problem was Griffin pitched 7 innings, allowed 4 hits, 3 of them were home runs, and he still won the game.
That's what he does. He has a big lead, which he did in that game. At one time, 8-1. He challenges you with the fastball.
Another fastball, another foul back. It's interesting, too, that Griffin can jam you, and his fastball's 91, 92. It won't light up the radar gun, but so many people get caught up in velocity as opposed to location and movement.
How about deception? He's got some deception, I think, in his windup.
Had Laurie out on that front foot. You saw a similar swing from Jose Bautista when he got out on that front foot and hit it to the wall. But Griffin just took enough off to mess up the timing. Lind at second, Rasmus at first. Boy, you can see the pattern they're working against Laurie. Everything is up.
Up. They don't think he can get around on those pitches that are up. And it's hard the way that Brett takes the bat, barrel, pointing it towards the first base dugout, and then try and get on top of that fastball. That's 91, or that slider that's 90 miles an hour. A better low ball hitter because you're quicker to the ball.
On the ground, right to the shortstop, who goes over to, bounces it past the first baseman, and Lynn's going to come in to score. Callaspo, the second baseman, got the lead runner at second. Rasmus is retired, but Rasmus has got a reputation of being tough on middle infielders. And Callaspo made a bad throw to first.
Yeah, Callaspo, the second baseman, might have been better off just taking that ball by himself. Remember, Sogard is the shortstop today, and the footwork just is not there. He doesn't get there quick enough. So I think it would have been better if Callaspo took it himself. There's the low angle as Rasmus goes in there hard.
Josh Tolley jumps on the first pitch and singles into center. So the Blue Jays have taken a 1-0 lead. Rasmus out on the fielder's choice 4-6. Laurie now at second base. Laurie picks up 90 feet on Josh Tolley's single.
And the Oakland A's, you mentioned 70 errors by the A's. 2 of them this inning have cost A.J. Griffin a run.
For comparison's sake, Baltimore has committed the fewest, 34 errors this season. Tampa Bay second with 42. Oakland now has committed 72.
I thought the game yesterday, there was a pass ball that led to a run for the Blue Jays. There was also an error that set up and led to a run in the 3rd inning yesterday for the Blue Jays. A couple of runs there.
Emilio Bonifacio, the left fielder. 1 out. Bonifacio, a tough man to double up.
Boy, he can let it all hang out right here. 2-0, batting number 9. You know you're going to get yourself a fastball.
3-0. Reyes on deck has already singled this afternoon. Bob Melvin's ball club has gone through a rough stretch. There's his strike. The starters for Oakland, who have been so good for the season over the last 14 games, have gone 5-7. Their ERA as a group over 5 during that stretch. There's another walk. 2 walks in the inning issued by A.J. Griffin, and that'll turn the lineup over and bring Jose Reyes to the plate and bring Kurt Young, the pitching coach, out of the A's dugout.
A.J. Griffin's in the top 10 in the American League and fewest walks per 9 innings. So this is something going on here. Kurt Young must have noticed something. Some extra pitches. The defense hasn't helped them that much.
The A's for the season have allowed 2.45 walks per 9 innings pitched. The last time the A's had fewer than 2.51 walks per 9 innings was 1904. They are a team that throws strikes, and A.J. Griffin's in a jam. Laurie's at third. He reached on a fielder's choice. Tolley had a single, and then Bonifacio with the walk. Reyes goes after the first pitch and pops it behind short. Sogar there, infield fly rule in effect, and Reyes pops out on the first pitch.
Oh boy, the Blue Jays cannot let A.J. Griffin off the hook here. The defense has already compounded the problem. Bases loaded. He's helped out with a couple of walks. They got to come away with more than just one run here.
Well, A.J. Griffin, he's got a lot of confidence. He's, I'm sure, disappointed with the 2 walks in this inning that have created this situation. Meister Asturias with 2 outs. Griffin's having trouble finding the strike zone. The fly ball to left should be an easy play for Cespedes, and the Blue Jays waste a golden opportunity. They leave the bases loaded, but they've taken a 1-0 lead as we head to the third. Baseball ever, said Cubs manager Leo DeRocher. Fergie Jenkins of Chatham, Ontario, originally signed with the Phillies in 1962, but success came with the Cubs, who took him out of the bullpen and turned him into a starter. From 1967 to 1972, Jenkins won 20 or more games each year and threw 140 complete games. Fergie Jenkins is the first Canadian to be inducted into Cooperstown. Beautiful moment in Canadian baseball history, and certainly Ferguson Jenkins, one of the ball players Canada can truly be proud of. Great career, Hall of Fame career, and he comes from Chatham, Ontario. R.A. Dickey with a 1-0 lead gets ahead of Claude Crisp with a fastball. Crisp walked to start the ball game, but never moved. R.A. Dickey was able to retire the next 3.
He never got off the dirt.
No, he looked like he didn't want to run at all. And I understand Dickey is quick to the plate, but not so much Dickey's release. It is the challenge for Tolley to catch it and throw it. You've hit against knuckleballers before, and that last pitch reminded me of a hitter standing there going, okay, it's not moving. I can get that one.
Should I swing? Yeah, I'll go ahead and swing, and then you miss it by a mile. I think you have to be in swing mode. You got to see it out of his hand early.
Well, that was a good knuckleball right underneath the bat of Coco Crisp, and R.A. Dickey has 4 strikeouts already.
The 2013 Honda Civic, Canada's best-selling car 15 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Canada Baseball Day is presented by Honda, and it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Toronto. Eric Sogar was a strikeout victim his first time up. Dickey talked about throwing the knuckleball a little bit slower, especially in this ballpark. Feels like when he throws that knuckleball high, it has a tendency to stay up in the zone. And when the hitters do make contact, which isn't all that often, the ball takes off and flies.
He noticed in his start in San Francisco where he took a little something off. There was one right there, just 69 miles an hour with that knuckleball. When he took a little something off, it really messed with the timing of the hitters. So you add that to the mix, the hard knuckleball, and you end up pitching a lot of innings. He also can make the adjustment throwing the ball in the lower part of the strike zone. I was talking to Josh Tolley about that, who caught him last year with the Mets, and he said, yeah, he can make the ball tumble if he concentrates and gets the ball about thigh high. That's another thing that could help keep the ball in the ballpark.
Took a shot with the fastball and missed. 1-2 to the A's number 2 hitter, Eric Sogard. Sogard has the longest active hit streak in the majors at 14 games. Back up the middle, Reyes behind second, turns and fires. What a play. 2 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Alex Rodriguez sat out yesterday's game after the Friday night game and gets his first home run of the season off a pretty good pitcher. Verlander and Andy Pettitte hooked up at Yankee Stadium this afternoon. Going to be a tough summer for Alex Rodriguez, no matter what happens.
Yeah, however they finish it. And the Tigers are hot. Hot, hot, hot. What a play by Reyes. He gets a little bit of an assist right here from Tim McClellan, the crew chief. That ouchie ankle. Tough for Reyes to slow down. Big Tim helped him out.
Alex Rodriguez, that first home run of the season, gives him 1,951 career RBI. With that, he passes Stan Musial for 5th all-time on the RBI list. Popped up into shallow right field. Bautista comes in. Easy inning for R.A. Dickey. Just what he needed. Blue Jays will head to the 3rd with a 1-0 lead. Sunday, the Blue Jays salute the men and women of the Canadian Forces, and today it's Captain Rod Kidney, who joined the Army in 2002 and was badge and officer of the Royal Canadian Regiment in 2007. Captain Kidney in 2010 was deployed on a 7-month combat tour to Afghanistan as a battle captain, following which he was posted to the 4th Canadian Division headquarters in Toronto, where he is still serving as the province's domestic training officer. Congratulations, Captain Rod Kidney, and we appreciate and thank you for your services. Jose Bautista will start things off for the Jays in the 3rd. Bautista hit a deep fly ball to left field his first time up. High and deep, but this is going to hook foul.
Oof. Plenty of distance.
You mentioned Bautista was loading up in a good spot. What's he doing differently now?
Well, he's not loading up over his back foot where he bends back, and then as he starts to swing, the head comes forward. He loads up and stays in the middle of his body. When he does that, that's where he gets that quickness and that extension. Watch how the head barely moves when he loads up. The leg kick is outstanding right now. It's a great timing mechanism for Jose Bautista.
Coming inside. He is called out. Bautista thought it was downstairs. Jordan Baker, the home plate umpire, rings him up. That's the first out of the bottom of the 3rd. First strikeout for A.J. Griffin
this afternoon, and it's a fastball in the inner half, down and in. It just catches enough of the plate. Jose, who's seen the ball, didn't like it. Thought that ball was down. There it is on pitch tracks, and he might be right.
Edwin Encarnacion takes a strike. Another look at this last pitch. Is it high enough? Borderline for sure. Pitch tracks also suggested it might have been inside. There's a little pop-up down the 3rd base line. Josh Donaldson makes the catch in foul territory. 2 quick outs here in the 3rd. Encarnacion threw his bat at that ball. He was fooled badly by the pitch from Griffin and pops up. Adam Lynn hit a hot shot to the first baseman in the 2nd. That started the inning. Brandon Moss committed the error, and Lynn would eventually score on the error by the 2nd baseman. 2 errors in the inning, contributing to the only run of the ball game. We mentioned A.J. Griffin was a 13th round pick of Oakland in 2010. He made his professional debut in 2010 as the closer in Vancouver. Pitched at Nat Bailey Stadium, and he loved Vancouver. He lived a couple blocks away from Nat Bailey Stadium. It's a beautiful neighborhood, and he said it was great playing ball right there. You could walk over to the stadium, and of course he would love that ballpark. It is a big yard.
Oh, is it really? I don't remember ever being there, but it's a good pitcher's ballpark.
It is. I actually played there in an exhibition game when I was with the Brewers. We went out and played Vancouver, who was our AAA team at the time. I've also covered the 1994 Pacific Coast League Championship. Albuquerque played Vancouver in that championship. Then another foul. In that championship game, the Albuquerque manager was Rick Dempsey. And the Angels AAA team was in Vancouver at that time. Troy Percival, Garrett Anderson, all part of the team. Inside, he pushes Lynn back and walks him with ball 4. 2-out walk. Unusual for Griffin. That's his 3rd walk issued this afternoon. And Griffin has rarely done that. Just the 2nd time he's walked 3 in a game. He's had 1 4-walk game, but that was way back on the 16th of April.
Yeah, when he was getting into it again in the top 10. Fewest walks per 9 innings, under 2, and he's passed that already.
Colby Erasmus Goes after the first pitch, and Griffin starts him out with a breaking ball.
Well, Colby's got to do something special today, right? It's his 27th birthday. He's got to go out there and do something on your birthday. Maybe hit a home run, maybe drive in a run, maybe make a great catch.
Share the spotlight with Brett Boris.
Sure.
It's Brett's bobblehead day. And Rasmus is behind 0-2. Boy, he's had a good season.
275, that average has really gone up. There's birthday wishes for Colby. And he drove in his 60th run yesterday.
18 homers and 60 RBIs for Rasmus. He is well within reach of his career high. 23 home runs, a career high for Rasmus, and he's done that twice.
And if he gets hot, he has an outside shot at 100 driven in.
Yeah, and that always is the big plateau for a hitter. Last year, he had 23 homers and 75 ribbies. 75 RBIs for Rasmus, a career high. He's hit 23 home runs twice in his career. Last year with the Jays and 2010 with the Cardinals. Ball is driven into center field. Chris broke back and comes in to make the catch. The inning is over. Blue Jays leave another base runner. Still a 1-0 game. We head to the fourth. And British Columbia beat Quebec 11-1 in the semifinal. They will take on Ontario as the team from East Nepean has defeated Glace Bay, the host team, and it'll be BC against East Nepean, the Ontario representative, in about an hour from now to decide who will go to Williamsport to represent Canada. So we'll keep you up to date with all that as the afternoon continues. Yoenis Cespedes, the left fielder, starts things off for Oakland here in the fourth. Cespedes didn't like that call, felt it was up and out of the strike zone, but Dickey is ahead 0-2.
And the people on the bench didn't like it either.
And Jordan Baker is responding to the bench jockeys. Oh, 2. Cut on and missed, and Cespedes has a couple of words for Jordan Baker after he strikes out. That's 5 strikeouts now for R.A. Dickey. You know, I just don't understand why umpires have to take their mask off and make a big deal out of it. Just call the game. You know what? The bench jockeys are always going to get on you when they think there's a borderline call, but I don't think there's any need to respond to it.
I think that was a sign right there. The next one was the thumb. All right, I'm going to take my mask off. If you say one more, see ya.
1 out, Josh Reddick. walked his first time up. It's a ball and a strike. Were you a bench jockey?
No.
Never said anything to umpires?
Well, I hid behind people and said stuff. You know,
That's the worst kind. And excuse me, Tapper back to Dickey. Easy out. Reddick is retired. 1-3 on the putout.
What do you mean it's the worst kind?
Yeah, I mean, you get your teammates thrown out.
That was the whole idea. You don't like your teammate, you go behind him, you say something.
Yeah.
He gets pitched, and you continue to watch the game.
Yeah. All you do is say something, then look at your neighbor.
That was another good one right there. Point to him. He did it. He said it.
2 outs. Josh Donaldson, the third baseman. I used to have some great bench jockeys that I played with. Kansas City, Milwaukee.
Oh, they were the best. You and I played with John Mayberry, who was probably the funniest, and he had the deepest voice, so everybody in the ballpark knew who it was.
There was no disguising his voice coming out of the dugout.
Yeah.
Oh, Donaldson gets hit. Dickey hit him with an inside pitch, so Donaldson will reach with 2 outs. Obviously, in a one-run game, you don't want to give base runners the opportunity to reach. Now, Dickey has walked 2 and hit a batter. Yeah, it was difficult for John Mayberry to disguise his disgust, and he would holler out, "Come on, Blue."
When he would start in, I'd just get up and walk away because I didn't want to get involved in it.
Brandon Moss goes after the first pitch. Emilio Bonifacio backs up a few steps. R.A. Dickey leaves another base runner. Takes him just 9 pitches to work through the 4th. Major League Baseball came to Canada in April 1969. After opening their first season in New York, the Montreal Expos arrived at Jerry Park on April 14th and played in front of almost 30,000 fans in the first MLB game on Canadian soil. A French love affair was underway and remained at one of baseball's most intimate parks until the building of Olympic Stadium. Another great Canadian moment and part of great baseball history, the Montreal Expos, and it doesn't seem right that there's not a team in Montreal. Brett Lawrie takes a first pitch strike. Lawrie had his 11-game hit streak snapped yesterday. He took an 0-for-3. This is a broken mat pop-up into center field. Sogard is not going to make the play. Eric Sogard, the shortstop, is the only one that had a real shot at it. Coco Crisp was deep, guarding against an extra base hit, and it was a broken bat looper that Lawrie dumped into center for a hit.
You keep going up there and you keep battling, and you'll start finding holes right off the glove of Sogard, the shortstop. He goes out. He was the only one who had a shot at it. Crisp didn't have a shot at it. He was playing a little bit too deep. So Brett Laurie starts a new hitting streak.
It's all you can do when you have that long streak snap. Say, okay, I'm going to start another one today. He's been on base twice, reached on a fielder's choice. Now he is single. Josh Tolley takes the strike. I love the way A.J. Griffin works. He's a right-handed version of Mark Burley.
Yep, no messing around. Hit the ball, get on that rubber, get the sign, and throw that ball.
Tolley, another little looper, and Coco Crisp dives and makes a heck of a catch. Coco Crisp saw that ball sinking very quickly and reached out, made a backhanded catch, and fell to the ground, came up with the baseball.
Wow, what a catch by Crisp in center field. He's going to backhand this sinking liner straight at the ball and then protects himself by tucking that shoulder underneath there. Hits the turf hard. It's hard out there, and he rolls over and makes a great catch.
Boy, that saves extra bases for sure. Coco Crisp with a highlight reel defensive play in center. There goes Laurie. The hit and run was on, and Bonifacio pops it out of play. Bonifacio walked back in the second inning. One of two walks that A.J. Griffin would issue that inning. Griffin on the day has walked 3. Just one shy of his season high total. Just in case the Blue Jays are thinking about running again.
I think the element of surprise is over right now. That one took everybody by surprise, but Bonifacio just couldn't keep the ball fair or keep it on the ground.
There goes Laurie, and Stephen Vogt can't find the handle. Bonifacio swung right through the pitch. Vogt in the transfer never got a grip on the baseball, and Laurie picks up his 4th stolen base of the season.
That didn't look like a hit and run because Bonifacio swung at it like he was protecting the runner. And then the transfer, there it is right there. Vogt cannot come up with it.
0-2 upstairs. The problem I see with a lot of catchers in this day and age is they catch with their hands separated. Some will even catch with their hand behind them. And that was a good example of the ball in the glove, and then his hand was about a foot away from his glove. You have such a tough time getting the baseball into your hand if you don't use them together, have them work together. And Vogt had his hands separated to the point where he almost threw the ball toward his hand and missed.
And ideally you want it behind the glove.
Yep.
The throwing hand.
2-2. Off speed pitch. Bonifacio strikes out. Second strikeout for Griffin. Primetime Sports is #1 for a reason. The best content you'll find on your radio. Primetime Sports with Bob McCown every weekday on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Certainly Monday afternoon, Bob will have a lot to talk about. The PGA will wrap up this afternoon. The Rogers Cup tennis with 2 great finals going on today in the entire weekend of baseball. And I'm sure you'll hear Bob McCown opine about Alex Rodriguez hitting his first home run.
I'll tune in just to hear that.
Two 2-0 to Jose Reyes. Reyes is 1 for 2 already. Brett Lloyd second. He's in scoring position. Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. Oakland has lost 7 of their last 9, 9-11 since the All-Star break, and now they're going to put Reyes on first. They fell behind 3-0 and said, you know what, let's start with a fresh at-bat.
Yeah, we're not even going to give Jose Reyes a chance after they fell behind Griffin. Just not feeling it right now.
Well, I like that move too, and Bob Melvin, the manager, he's the one that called for the intentional walk. So now Griffin has walked a season high tying 4. First time he's walked 4 in a game since April.
Well, this is when you want to get him right here, innings 4 through 6. Generally, the second time through, his numbers shoot way up. Innings 1 through 3, he's given up 7 home runs. Innings 4 through 6, 19 this year.
Hitters with a little more information. Second time through the order. Meiser Torres. Stephen Vogt's going to go out and try to coax A.J. Griffin into the strike zone. He's having all sorts of problems. He's used his fastball a lot today, but just hasn't had real good command of it.
Yeah, it's been up and away to the left-handers. Kurt Young is also going to go out and have a chat with his starting pitcher. The Blue Jays have been looking for a big base hit. They lead the game 1-0, but they've left 5 runners on already today.
Well, I think this is a timely visit by Kurt Young. He's a terrific pitching coach, and he has a very calm demeanor about him. I get the feeling that A.J. Griffin's just rushing a little bit. It's okay to be quick, but when you rush, I think you create problems. And I think that's what Kurt Young went out there to talk about. Slow it down a little bit. 2-0. Upstairs. Of course, Jose Bautista looms on deck. The 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded for a red-hot Bautista. Griffin has allowed 2 grand slams this season, which is tied for the major league lead. 2 outs. Nowhere to put Bautista.
Nope, you got to challenge him. You got to come right after him.
Now, obviously, the fans reacting to a breaking ball that twisted over Bautista's head. He wasn't concerned about it.
Yeah, he is struggling right now, and you can see his body language, A.J. Griffin, that he just doesn't feel right. He's a little bit out of sorts. Does a good thing of stepping off the mound, taking a deep breath. This is a big pitch right here.
2 balls and a strike. Popped up. Catcher Stephen Vogt back to the screen, and it is up against the screen, and he makes the catch. Bautista arguing that it hit the screen. Jordan Baker, the home plate umpire, giving no indication. So as Gibbons comes out, we will head to the 5th. Now for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Comfrey green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone. Our guests from McMaster Children's Hospital in Hamilton. Welcome to the ballpark, and I hope you're enjoying those great seats. While over in the Jays Care Community Clubhouse, we welcome the Royal York Baseball Association, decked out in their red jerseys on this Canada Baseball Day. Welcome to the ballpark. Well, the Blue Jays have really wasted some great opportunities. They have stranded 7 already in this game, and it's a one-run game. Check that. It's 8 left on base.
Bases loaded twice, but they haven't been able to come up with a clutch hit. So R.A. Dickey now has that one-run lead.
Second baseman Alberto Callaspo fouls it off. Dickey has had good control today. He's walked 2, but he struck out 5. Oakland has managed just 1 hit. Callaspo reaches for it. This is trouble. Bautista on the run, and he does a heck of a job of smothering that ball. Once he realized he wasn't going to catch it, he did everything he could to smother it with his glove, and he knocked it down to keep it right where it was.
You know, and the only way he can make this play right here, just try and knock it down and keep it in front of you. If he backs off and plays this ball on the bounce, it bounces over his head, and it's probably extra bases. The only way to go, dive, knock it down with that glove. That's a heck of a play by Bautista.
A terrific play to keep Callaspo at first. Stephen Vogt, the catcher, takes it outside. You know, we talk about Bautista's defensive plays and all the great throws he makes and all the fine catches, but that play right there, you won't really notice it in the scorebook, but that's a big play.
It'll be forgotten. And if R.A. Dickey gets a ground ball here and gets a double play, everybody will forget about the great play that Bautista made to keep the double play in order. If he dives for that ball and doesn't get it, Callaspo's probably standing on third base.
Well, and he went after it perfectly because he thought he had a chance to make a catch. Then he got to the point of no return and said, all I got to do now is get a piece of it and knock it down.
And that happens. But halfway out there, you know if you're going to catch it or not. And Jose realized he wasn't going to catch that one and did everything he could to keep it in front of him.
There's a 3-0 strike. One nothing ball game. Popped into the seats again, and we say this a lot, but isn't baseball a funny game? We have the 2 pitchers that have combined to give up more home runs than anybody in baseball. A.J. Griffin has given up 28. R.A. Dickey's given up 25, and here we are in the 5th in a one-run game. There've only been 5 hits.
In the ballpark that's given up the most home runs.
177 home runs hit in this ballpark. So you come to a ballpark every day and don't get wrapped up in the numbers. You've got to watch the guys play. Here are the home runs allowed leaders, and A.J. Griffin leads the pack by 3. Then you have Blanton Dickey, C.C. Sabathia, and Chris Tillman. There's a base hit to right. Bautista over. He will cut it off. Callaspo makes the turn toward third base, and he'll get there. So Stephen Vogt has his first hit of the afternoon. It's first and third, nobody out.
The 2013 Honda Civic, Canada's best-selling car 15 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Welcome back to Rogers Center. It is Canada Baseball Day. Sponsored by Honda, and it is a beautiful afternoon. The A's threatening in the top of the 5th. Coco Crisp jumps back from an inside pitch. Crisp has walked and struck out. Crisp had a bunt single in the 9th inning as the A's were mounting a comeback. They scored a run in the 9th on Josh Reddick's second home run of the game, but Casey Jansen closed them out. Jansen picked up his 21st save of the season, and it was a tough save. after the home run, the A's got back-to-back singles, and it looked like they were going to tie it up, but Jansen buckled down and got out of it. Struck out Cespedes to end the ballgame.
That looked dangerous yesterday. Home run, a couple guys on. The bunt defense, Blue Jays worked it to perfection to help win that ball game. Going to need some defense here too.
3-0 count now. Really a tough situation for Dickey. Eric Sogard is on deck today, playing shortstop. Nice ball strike. Chris taking all the way. Stephen Vogt is a catcher. Doesn't run that well, and I'd be surprised if he runs in this situation.
I wouldn't send him. Crisp can really run, so.
There's a pop-up behind shortstop. Bonifacio coming in. He calls for it. He makes the catch. That's a big out. Dickey got the pop-up in shallow left. Callaspo had to hold his ground. He couldn't tag at third, so now Dickey is a double play away from getting out of it.
Yeah, first and third, nobody out. You want a pop-up or a strikeout. Yeah, that's what Dickey gets. Now he needs the grounder.
Or another couple of knuckle sandwiches.
Like you saw in the background there.
One out. Sogard hasn't struck out once so far. Dickey jumps ahead with strike one.
Very shallow are the Blue Jays in left field and in center field. Sogard has that inside-out swing. Not a lot of power. Just 2 home runs. You can see Rasmussen center. And look at Bonifacio in left field, taking away that low liner to left field.
Sogard is grounded into just 2 double plays. We had a good rip at that pitch upstairs. So now here's where the trust comes into the play with Dickey and Tolley. Dickey needs to throw a good knuckleball. Tolley caught him all year last year and quite a bit this season. So Dickey has to be confident he can throw that knuckleball and that Tolley can knock it down with a runner at third.
And probably put a little something extra on us, also going for the strikeout. And if he happens to bounce it, make sure that your catcher can block it.
There it was. He fouled it back. You know, there are times when a catcher will get back there, and I've been in this situation where you say, well, maybe I can sneak a fastball by him and don't have to throw that knuckleball. But that's not the case with Tolley.
All right, you have to have that confidence, don't you?
Oh, 0-2 to Eric Sogard. The A's with runners at first and third. Another pop-up. Lowry backpedaling. Reyes calls him off, and Reyes makes the catch. Well, 2 good pop-ups by Dickey as he has recorded 2 outs after Oakland put runners at first and third.
Knuckleballs that are down. Brett Lowry backing off, and pop-up priority goes to that middle infielder. He's got a better angle on that ball, so Jose calls him off. Big second out by R.A. Dickey.
Not out of the woods yet. Jed Lowry, the DH this afternoon. Dickey jumps ahead. Lowry has struck out and flied out to right. On the ground, Reyes at short, goes to second to end the inning. What a job by R.A. Dickey. First and third, nobody out. He leaves a pair. Oakland has stranded 6 in this 1-0 ball game. Blue Jays were primed to get over the hump and make their first playoff appearance. They sent Doyle Alexander to the mound on October 5th, the second to last game of the season. And in the ninth, George Bell dropped to his knees, threw both arms skyward. The Blue Jays were playoff bound for the first time, a moment in Canadian baseball history that won't be forgotten. Great moment for this franchise and a great moment for baseball in Canada. 1985, the Blue Jays won the East by beating the Yankees. Ron Hasse hit the fly ball to George Bell that ended it.
And still the best record for a season in Blue Jay history.
Yeah.
All those great teams in the 90s, but it was the 85 team who has the best single season win mark.
I think the one thing, too, that allowed that team to be so good was 83 and 84. Knocking on the door a couple of years, back-to-back seasons. You got a taste for what a pennant race was like. I think it's very difficult for teams to just jump out of the chute and turn things around dramatically. Pittsburgh Pirates a good example. They have knocked on the door in the first half of the last two seasons. It's a high fly ball into right. Reddick over into the alley makes the catch, and Conachon is retired.
You see that in sports all the time. Teams that get to the conference finals, if you will, or the NFC championship game, and they're knocking on the door and they don't win. And it takes another year or two to taste defeat before you can taste victory.
Yeah, you just really have to know and learn how to close out a season. Adam Lind has been on base twice. He reached on an error in the second and walked in the third. Goes after the first pitch and lifts it into center field. Coco Crisp over there, easily out, 2 down. I had misspoken earlier in the game when I talked about the error by the second baseman. Eric Sogard made the error on the throw that allowed Lind to score the only run. Brandon Moss committed the first error of the inning that allowed Lind to reach, and then Sogard, attempting to complete the double play, threw it away at first, and that's resulted in the only run of the game. Colby Erasmus looking to give himself a birthday present. Ball on his strike. 2 outs. Fouled off the catcher's glove. A.J. Griffin hanging in there in a 1-0 game, and you look at the 5 walks he's allowed, 1 intentional. Season high.
Season high.
But that's the definition of pitching.
Yeah. I mean, you can go to the mound without your best stuff, but I'm going to keep my team in the game. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to make pitches when I have to, and he had to. So far, 8 guys left on base.
Ground ball. Callaspo with the backhanded play throws to first in time. And the inning is over. We'll go to the 6th. And fans, here comes the Home Hardware cleanup crew. Brought to you by Natura, Home Hardware's exclusive line of safe, environmentally friendly cleaning products. August 31st, the Blue Jays will take on the Kansas City Royals. The game will start at 1:07 p.m. The first 5,000 kids 14 and under will receive a Blue Jays lunchbox. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com and stop by most Rogers Plus locations. School is back, and don't blame me, kids. I'm not the one that brought it up. Summer's coming to an end, and you can get your lunchbox on August 31st. Yoenis Cespedes leading things off for Oakland here in the 6th. R.A. Dickey did a terrific job of pitching around trouble in the 5th. First and third, nobody out. And he stranded those 2 base runners. Cespedes hits a hot shot. That's a fair ball down the left field line. And a fan reaches over and touches it, and I just don't get that. Cespedes is going to have to stop at second. Bonifacio got over there in good shape, and you never know, he might be able to keep Cespedes to a single had not the fan reached over and touched this ball.
Well, the ball was hit so hard by Cespedes at home. Let this ball go. Let your defender field it and possibly hold him to a single. When the Blue Jays are hitting, go ahead. Lean over, grab it, and give the Jay that extra base.
Of course, that might have been an A's fan.
well, you know what? I didn't even think about that. If it is, they got some pretty nice tickets.
So it's a leadoff double for Cespedes. You can see he puts that protective glove on his hand to guard that thumb and fingers in a sliding situation. Josh Reddick goes after the first pitch and pops it back over the Blue Jays dugout. Fourth time this afternoon the A's have had the leadoff man aboard, and they have yet to cross home plate.
R.A. Dickey's just done a great job of pitching out of trouble. He had a couple of runners on in the second inning, a walk and a single to start that inning, and they didn't score. He had a two out runner reach base hit by a pitch.
That ball gets away from Tolle, and Cespedes will go to first, and Reddick missed it and Tolle missed it and went all the way back to the backstop.
And now he's got his work cut out for him again. Runner on third base. Nobody out. It looks like the infield on the left side is going to come in. Look at that. No movement. As hard as it is to hit it, sometimes it's even harder to catch it.
Yeah, that was a tough one. It's a wild pitch charged to Dickey. The infield has come in. Reddick tries to punch it to the left side. Now there's another reason why you shouldn't touch the ball down the foul lines here. If you're a Blue Jays fan and the Blue Jays are on defense, let it go. Maybe the left fielder can keep Cespedes to a single. But the ground rule double, now the wild pitch, and again the A's threatening to score. Both pitchers have done an outstanding job of pitching with runners on base. Combined, the teams have left 14 on so far, and there's only been 1 run scored. 2-2 to Reddick. Foul ball down the first base side.
Approach is a little bit different than the home run swings we have seen the last couple of days. Now with 2 strikes, he's really leading with his lower half and trying to keep his hands back as long as possible. Trying not to strike out here. Just put the ball in place somehow.
Josh Donaldson on deck. Little chopper up the third base line. Tolle picks it up in foul ground. Dickey has 5 strikeouts so far. I mean, he's had the ability to get strikeouts in tough situations. He got strikeout number 3 in the second after a walk and a single started the inning. There's another big strikeout for Dickey upstairs, and Reddick swings right through it. 1 down. Fans, in this issue, Sportsnet Magazine takes a look at sports' biggest rivalries. Find out who's on top. Subscribe now at sportsnet.ca/magazine. Jay-Z on the cover of this issue of Sportsnet magazine, talking about great rivalries in sport. 6 strikeouts now for R.A. Dickey. Josh Donaldson has been on base twice, singled and got hit by a pitch. Now here's where Josh Tolley really earns his money, with a runner just 90 feet away handling that knuckleball. Hit past Laurie, and Cespedes will jog home. Josh Donaldson jumps on the first pitch, and just like that, we're tied at 1-1.
You bring the infield in, and it's tough on some of those infielders, especially when you got a big hitter like Donaldson at the plate. He's going to turn on the first one he sees and sends a rocket down at Brett Laurie. This would have been magical if he could have come up with that one, but the ball stayed down. Donaldson has the RBI, his 64th.
So 1-1 game. Brandon Moss, the first baseman, takes one upstairs. The A's now with 5 hits. Blue Jays have just 3 hits. Ball is hit hard to center. Rasmus looking up. This ball is gone. Brandon Moss goes straight away center field. His 18th home run of the season. And the A's have taken the lead here in the 6th.
Moss, 17 home runs coming into this one. Number 18, and he got all of it. He had a strikeout and a flyout his first 2 times up. This time a knuckleball stayed in the middle of the plate. It looked like it was going down, but he just clobbers it to center. Rasmus can only watch, and so can R.A. Dickey. You can't believe that one leaves the yard.
Callaspo goes after the first pitch and grounds out to shortstop. 2 down now. Brandon Moss. He has bounced around, and he's done a great job for them.
The 2013 Honda Civic, Canada's best-selling car 15 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Stephen Vogt, the catcher, is 1 for 2. Brandon Moss with a 2-run home run in his 3-run 6th inning has led the A's all the way back, and they've taken a 3-1 lead. Brandon Moss hit 21 home runs last year for Oakland in just 84 games. That was his 18th. He has driven in now 53 runs. Last year, he had 52 RBIs for Oakland. 1-2. On the ground, Encarnacion will go to the bag, and the inning is over. But once again, the home run ball plagues R.A. Dickey. Brandon Moss has given Oakland a 3-1 lead. Brought to you by Transitions Optical. Transitions lenses automatically filter just the amount of light to enhance everything you see.
And today on Brett Laurie Bobblehead Day, we are going to feature Brett Laurie as our baseball bio. 23 years old from Langley, British Columbia. He was the 16th overall pick by the Milwaukee Brewers in 2008. Came to the Toronto Blue Jays for Sean Markham when he was a minor leaguer, and has really entrenched himself at third base. Bona fide major leaguer. I think is ready to take the next step.
Goes after the first pitch and hits a high fly ball into right. Josh Reddick gets over and makes the catch. Laurie is retired. Brett is now 1 for 3. How about A.J. Griffin? He has battled all afternoon, and now his team has rewarded him with a 3-1 lead. Both ball clubs really had opportunities, and unfortunately R.A. Dickey, another home run ball, and it was a straightaway homer to center field. Dickey has now allowed 26 home runs this season, second only to A.J. Griffin, his mound opponent.
Yeah, and he talks about that. He thinks one of the reasons why he's giving up more home runs here just doesn't have that, quote, last little wiggle on the pitch as it gets towards home plate. And he was right on that last one. It just wasn't there.
It was in a pretty good spot. Brandon Moss had to go down and reach for it. It wasn't as if it was up around the letters. Josh Tolley. Josh is singled, and he was robbed of a potential extra base hit in the 4th inning on a terrific diving catch by Coco Crisp, and here he'll reach. Boy, A.J. Griffin has had all sorts of problems with the base on balls. That is 6 now. Rogers customers can watch every this season on Sportsnet live on your smartphone. Visit RogersAnyplaceTV.com/sports to get started. Brett Laurie Bobblehead Day out near the Ted Rogers statue to honor the late Ted Rogers. Beautiful statue that was unveiled here about a month ago. Bonifacio fouls back the first pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Dickey, we mentioned he's given up 26 home runs. 19 of his 26 have come right here in this ballpark, and you can see the frustration. He knows the challenges of pitching in this ballpark, and he's trying to counteract that by changing speeds on his knuckleball.
Yeah, maybe throw the slower one because there's a little bit more movement on it. Today he came out very late to start his warm-ups. I wonder if that was planned, something that he was going to try and do.
Josh Reddick hit 3 home runs in the game on Friday night. Second time a player has hit 3 home runs in this ballpark this year, and Will Middlebrooks hit 3 against R.A. Dickey early in the season. 1-2. Line drive into right. That's going to get down for a base hit. Tolley will stop at second. Bonifacio delivers his first hit of the afternoon. And Blue Jays got something cooking here in the 6th.
Down at the bottom of the lineup, you set it up and let the top of the lineup take over. That's Ryan Cook, who has just gotten up and started getting loose. A walk to Josh Tolley, and then a 2-strike base hit by Bonifacio, and the Blue Jays are back in business.
Just the 4th hit that Griffin has allowed this afternoon. Reyes takes the first pitch strike. Reyes popped up with the bases loaded in the 2nd inning. Off-speed pitch. That's a fair ball off the glove of Moss. Tolley is around second. He's going to score. Bonifacio with a big turnaround 3rd, and Jose Reyes with his 2nd hit of the afternoon has made it a 1-run game.
This is one of the more difficult fields to field on because there's seams, there's dirt, there's turf, another breaking ball. This one hit the seam and ricochets past Moss down the right field line. Reyes will take it. It's an RBI single, and Moss is like, I had no chance of catching that one.
Louis Rivera had to holler at Reyes to get his attention. He went through a series of signs. We don't know whether that was a decoy or not, but they've got a perfect candidate up at the plate if they want to do something. Bob Melvin, boy, he has got a purposeful walk to his gate. Now he'll jog out there. So the manager comes out in this situation. Oftentimes this would be to change pitchers, but it looks like he's going to come out and have a talk with the defense more than anything. I think he picked up on the Rivera actions at third base, and Louis Rivera was calling over to first to get Reyes' attention before he went through a series of signs, and Bob Melvin said, you know what, let's just go out and talk about this situation.
I think you're all over that. Just in case, here's what I want to do with this. This is what I want to do with this situation, that. First thing, you got to pitch the Asturias.
Well, the big thing is, and you can see the problems Griffin has had with the control, 6 walks today. The big thing is Blue Jays have their 2 best base runners on base. Bonifacio is the fastest, and Reyes is very adept at stealing bases. Meister Asturias is 0 for 2 with a walk up and away. Boy, I tell you what, they certainly have Oakland on edge. They think something might be up, and that might get Asturias a pretty good pitch to hit.
This is something that you don't always see in the big leagues. Look at the third baseman. Josh Donaldson holding the runner on at third, like you see when you're in Little League.
Boy, that's really interesting. You don't see that very often, but Donaldson indeed recognizing the explosive speed of Bonifacio and the possibility of a bunt. So he's going to keep him as close as he can.
A bunt and maybe a double steal.
Now they'll throw to third. Well, that's why Bob Melvin went out there. He wanted to put this defense in place. Boy, he's a good manager. He is an excellent manager. 2-0 upstairs, 3-0. The distraction of speed on the bases has forced Griffin into a tough spot. Bautista is on deck.
If you're Meister Asturias, I think you got to take 2.
Yep. And don't hit to right.
No, take 2 and launch 1.
3 balls and a strike. Blue Jays trying to scratch back in this game. They trail by a run. It's 3-2 Oakland. Driven into center field. Chris doesn't have much of an arm, and he won't even make a throw. Asturias has tied it up with the sac fly.
Blue Jays down by a couple of runs, and they come right back, and it's the bottom of the order that sets it up. The walk and the hit turn the lineup over for Reyes, and the Blue Jays come back to tie it.
Well, once again, the walks creating opportunities for the Blue Jays. A.J. Griffin will hand the ball over to Bob Melvin. Griffin, with a season-high 6 walks, will turn things over to Ryan Cook, who will face Bautista when we come back. R.A. Dickey back in a tie ball game as Blue Jays have scored 2 here in the bottom of the 6th, and Jose Bautista is the batter. A.J. Griffin with a career-high 6 walks issued in 5 2/3.
And that's why Bob Melvin has gone to his bullpen. He wants a better matchup. Ryan Cook in 49 games, 3-2 with a 213 earned run average. Sinker, slider, doesn't give up a lot of home runs.
Gave up a home run yesterday to Jose Reyes in 1 inning of work. He is tough to get the ball airborne against.
First home run that he's given up in a year, and a home run hitter at the plate.
Cook facing Bautista. Bautista is 0 for 3 in limited at-bats against the A's reliever. There goes Reyes. He got a great jump. Swing and a miss. The throw to second. Not in time. And Reyes, well, he came off the bag for just a minute. And Callaspo was late putting the glove back down.
You know, we see that a lot from the Blue Jays' aggressive slides, and they slide over the bag. But Reyes did a good job. He knew he was going by that bag, and he slammed that foot back on it. Straight steal. Watch the slide up, over, and watch his foot stay right back on there. Just for a second, he was off.
So now they'll walk Bautista. The intentional pass, second intentional walk issued this afternoon by the A's. Edwin Encarnacion is just 3 for 24 against Oakland this season. So Bob Melvin is going with the percentages.
Yeah.
Bautista's had a great series, swinging the bat well.
Swinging the bat, just take it right out of his hands and take your chances with Encarnacion, who is hitless in this series so far.
So the A's have rattled the cage of Edwin Encarnacion, walking Bautista. Let's see if that narrows his focus a bit. Cook is set. Strike one with a breaking ball.
Edwin taking all the way there, wanting to take a good look at Ryan Cook.
Reyes at second, Bautista at first. Off the plate. And ball on a strike. A.J. Griffin with a career high 6 walks. Frustrated by his command. 1-1 to Encarnacion. Way inside.
He can't win it, but he can lose it. If Encarnacion can get Reyes in, that run would be charged to A.J. Griffin.
Home run cut and a foul straight back.
Well, he never gets cheated. If he's sitting on certain pitches, and he'll do that. He'll go in and he'll watch film and he'll have an idea of what a guy wants to do. Told me the other day if there's a couple runners on first and second base and he's watched the film and he's seen that pitcher, what he wants to throw, he'll look for that pitch.
Fouls this back over the A's dugout, out of play. The A's have walked 7 this afternoon. Their season high is 9. They've had an 8-walk game and one other 7-walk game. But the Blue Jays, so far in this game, have stranded 8.
Yeah, this is from the team with the fewest in the American League. Base on ball.
Up the middle, Callaspo positioned right behind the bag, and the Blue Jays now have left 10 on base, but the Jays have tied it up. R.A. Dickey back to the mound. Meiser Astures has tied it up with a sacrifice fly. We'll go to the 7th. It's a 3-3 game. Brand new ball game. It is tied at 3-3. Blue Jays had a 1-0 lead. Oakland scored 3 in the top of the 6th, and the Blue Jays answered with 2 of their own. R.A. Dickey continues to work back to the top of the order. Coco Crisp, the leadoff man. Bouncing ball, good hop to Laurie at third. Crisp is retired, 1 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update for us. Alex Rodriguez has driven in a pair of runs in the ballgame. He is 2 for 4 in New York. Andy Pettit got knocked out after 4 1/3. Verlander has been touched up for 4 runs on 6 hits. But the Yankees have a 4-1 lead, top of the 6th in New York. Eric Sogard bunts it foul at home plate. Ball on the strike. Sogard trying to extend his hit streak to 15 straight. His 14-gamer is the longest active streak in the major leagues. He has won the spot at second base. He's going to play a lot.
Will play against right-handers. They could flip Callaspo in there if a lefty starts. Bob Melvin has a few options now in his infield.
This has popped up in between home and third. Laurie is in fair ground. He makes the catch. With 2 outs, we want to remind you that the Boston Red Sox will be in town starting Tuesday, August 13th. 3 night games. They all start at 7:07 p.m. You can call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com to order your Red Sox tickets or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. It all begins Tuesday night. Boston back in town. Boston Red Sox with a 3-game lead over second-place Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's lost 4 in a row. They don't like playing at Dodger Stadium.
No, tough road trip for Tampa Bay out there playing the Dodgers.
Tonight the prospects are facing Clayton Kershaw. trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Jed Lowry drives it to right field. Bautista makes the catch. A couple of strides on the warning track. Good job by R.A. Dickey. Retires the side in order. Classic. Team Canada had their hands full against the star-studded lineup for Team USA. The Canadians had only one player who had pitched above Double-A. Starting pitcher Adam Lone gave up 3 hits and walked 3, but allowed no runs. Adam Stern, a 26-year-old outfielder, hit an inside-the-park homer, drove in 4 runs, and made 2 sensational catches in center. A historic moment in Canadian baseball history. One of the great days in Canadian baseball history, and it's hard to believe they could beat Team USA with their fine manager.
I was just going to say, you did a great job narrating that. Were you gritting your teeth the whole time through?
It took me 6 times to get that right.
You still wanted to see a change, too,
man,
right?
I tell you what, that was one of the great days of my life. I didn't like the results, of course, but Chase Utley hit a ball that we thought was out of the ballpark. In fact, he threw his arms in the air when he hit it. And Adam Stern caught it up against the fence at Chase Field. You know, we had it all figured out. We figured, you know what, they got all those left-handed hitters. And we're going to start Dontrell Willis against them. Well, that's all they ever faced, left-handed pitchers, because they're all left-handed. Everybody tried it.
Everybody.
So they were right on it. So it was a great game and a great series, and certainly one of the best days in Canadian baseball history. Adam Lind takes one outside. You saw the picture of Chipper Jones and Ken Griffey Jr. in that vignette. And yesterday in Seattle, Ken Griffey Jr. went into the Mariners Hall of Fame. One of the best speeches I've ever heard. He was terrific, and it was all off the cuff. 1-2 popped up on the infield. Third baseman Josh Donaldson comes in. 1 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got another update. Kansas City starting to hit a little bit. Eric Hosmer's up to 298. Lowe's hitting 301. And they've gotten some good pitching. James Shields on a mound, and you just got to wonder if he's ever going to get enough run support to win. Shields has a 330 earned run average.
Yeah, all he needs is 3, maybe 4 runs, and he'll win. They just can't do it.
John Lackey's getting roughed up again. Things have kind of caught up to John Lackey after a fast start. Bouncing ball off the bat of Rasmus Cook takes his time and throws him out. With 2 outs, it's a reminder this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Brett Lawrie, on Brett Lawrie bobblehead day, should just go ahead and hit a home run.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing right here.
Why not? Then the Blue Jays will have one every week.
A bobblehead day.
Ball on the strike. Darren Oliver is throwing in the bullpen, and R.A. Dickey might be out of this game. Inside. Dickey has really battled all afternoon, and you'd like to see him get a chance to go back and continue. I mean, he's supposed to be your ace. 2-1, 2 outs. Right on the corner. Strike 2.
He's battled. He's made pitches. Had a 1-2-3 inning last inning. But with Darren Oliver pitching, that might be it.
Cook thought it was strike 3, and you can't blame him. Pretty good looking pitch, and it's now a full count. Dickey has thrown 109 pitches. Not that extraordinary of a number with the knuckleball for sure. Full count, 2 outs. Brett Lawrie drives it into right for a base hit. Lawrie with his second hit of the afternoon. Brett's been on base 3 times.
That's how you hit a mistake right there. They went right back to the outside part of the plate looking for the strikeout, and Cook misses his spot. And Brett Lawrie slowing things down, hits that ball hard to right field.
Boy, that's a pretty swing. You hear the old-time ball players tell the kids, hey, there are a lot of hits over there. Staying a big part of the diamond. And when you hit tough pitchers like Cook, your percentages are much better to go the opposite way. Then you face the guys that don't have that great stuff. Your hands will take care of the ball. Then you can pull those pitches.
You'll pull it by naturally because of the lack of speed. But these kind of pitchers like Cook can wait just a little bit longer to shoot that ball to right field. That was a perfect swing from Lawrie.
Josh Thole. Lawrie has 3 steals in 5 attempts. Thole has gone 1 for 2. Been on base twice and was robbed of a base hit in the 4th. Lawrie faked a break.
But Lawrie picked up a stolen base earlier today. It looked like a missed hit and run with Bonifacio and was able to get into scoring position. The A's very concerned about the running game of the Blue Jays this afternoon.
Lawrie a little bit late diving back in, but he's in safely. Yeah, when you really think about it, the Blue Jays don't run all that often. They have 83 steals. They've been caught 29 times. Now 84 with Lawrie. In fact, 85. There's been a Reyes stolen base as well. Pitch out. You're right. They're concerned about the running. Well, Laurie's got terrific speed, obviously, and with 2 outs, he'll be off on the crack of the bat. Anything to the alleys, he should be able to score. There he goes. Thole rips at it and fouls it back.
Best time to go right after the team pitches out, and that's what the Blue Jays do. They pitched out and got to 2-1.
Why is it a good time to run then?
Guys, you know he's going to throw a strike. Teams don't usually pitch out back to back. Count was 1-1, and you know he was going to come after you with a strike.
Chip Hale giving both the signs. Lawrie with a big lead, not running this time, and Thole fouls him. Well, the fans are getting into the action, and it's another terrific crowd here on this Sunday afternoon. 45,312, the sixth sellout of the season. Boy, you can't fault the fans for supporting this ball club. They have come out in droves. 1-2. Cook has been an easy mark to steal against. Just one caught in 12 attempts. There goes Laurie. Throw to second base, not in time. 1 for 13. Caught with Cook on the mound.
Well, they knew that the Blue Jays were going to try and run here. Brett Laurie with a small lead and then bounces off and steals it as the ball bounces into second base. His second stolen base today.
So Tolley with 2 strikes and a man in scoring position. Checks his swing on the outside pitch. Just for the chance that he might have gone. They check with Wally Bell. Full count. The corner arms in the outfield are strong. Cespedes and Reddick. Coco Chris doesn't have much of an arm in center. Fouled back. Quite a battle between Tolley and Cook. Ryan Cook gave up a home run in his only inning of work yesterday. Jose Reyes hit a home run in the 7th.
This is a great battle. Josh Tolley, you can see he's choked up on the bat just a little bit to get a little bit more bat control. Look at that. The A's outfield don't think he's going to pull Cook. But you do that just to get a little bit more bat control, helps you to shorten your swing a little bit and catch the ball out in front.
Cut on and missed. Tolley strikes out. Cook wins the battle. The Blue Jays leave another base runner in scoring position. They've stranded 11 in this 3-3 game. This afternoon against the San Antonio Scorpions. Edmonton and San Antonio at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific on Sportsnet 360. Great soccer action and a beautiful ball game here in Toronto Raptors Center. is packed. 6th sellout crowd of the season. Watching game 3 of this 4-game set. It'll be another day game tomorrow afternoon. It's a 12:30 start. The pregame begins at 12 with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. The Monday afternoon game, and the veteran Darren Oliver in for the 38th time this season.
One of 5 relievers in yesterday's ball game. Darren Oliver gets another crack at it here.
Cespedes goes after the first pitch and hits a high fly ball into center. Rasmus is there.
Interesting numbers from Darren Oliver this year. He's actually handling right-handers a little bit better than lefties. Righties hitting 167 against Holly. And interesting because 2 of the 3 batters he's scheduled to face this inning are right-handed power hitters.
The exception is Josh Reddick, who steps in now with 1 out. Reddick has been quiet so far this afternoon, but he made enough noise in the first 2 games. He hit 5 home runs in the first 2 games of this series. Hey, Darren Oliver, he can carve up the strike zone. Reddick pulls it through the right side as Torres gets a glove on it, but he's not going to have a play. Josh Reddick reaches with the infield single. It comes with 1 out in the 8th.
2 strikes, and Asturias takes off, and if he comes up with it cleanly, he's got a shot. He gets to it. What an effort. Knocks it down. The ball just doesn't come right back to him. And by that time, Reddick runs too well.
So Reddick picks up his 6th hit of the month of August, and it's the first hit that's not a home run. He has 6 hits the entire month, and 5 of them have been home runs. Josh Donaldson, another 2-hit day today. He's been aboard 3 times. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th. Off the plate inside. Donaldson had a pair of doubles in yesterday's game. He was hitless in 4 at-bats in the opener on Friday night.
And we told you about Oliver handling right-handed batters. Donaldson versus left-handed pitchers, one of the best in the American League. He's got great numbers against left-handed pitching this year, almost 340.
2-0. Now 3-0. So R.A. Dickey leaves after 7 innings, and you just like to see Dickey get a chance in this tie game. He threw 109 pitches, but never looked fatigued. But John Gibbons made the call. And I know Dickey probably wanted to go back out there. He'd battled all afternoon, done a great job of pitching out of jam after jam. That's a pretty good pitch. Looked like it went all the way across the plate. Oliver didn't get to call, and he walks Donaldson.
I'm happy about that one. I second that, what you were just saying about R.A. He deserved a chance to win the ball game just because of how he pitched out of trouble. Made big pitches.
Well, too, he's your ace. He's the guy that you want to rack up the wins, and he's had a disappointing season, and I know he wants to finish up on a high note, so he'd like to stay out there, and I'm sure. 1 out. Runners at first and second, and it's 3-3 game. Brandon Moss homered off Dickey in the 6th. For Moss, it was his 18th home run of the season. We mentioned Moss a year ago hit 21 home runs in just 84 games with Oakland.
And when he homers, this team, it's almost like magic. They're 28-7 over the last couple of years.
There's a good pitch. That's always bread and butter for Oliver, that down and away fastball. Moss just checking to make sure it was 0-2. Bounced in the dirt, and Tolley was going to hold the base runners. Donaldson at first kept his eye on Josh Reddick at second, and Reddick had a good angle on the baseball, knew it wasn't quite far enough to try to move to third.
And he kept his eye on Josh Tolley, who got up and after that ball quickly, so Reddick couldn't advance.
What a pitch. Well, he backed off that breaking ball and really fooled Brandon Moss. He didn't throw that breaking ball as hard as he had earlier in the at-bat.
Had him way out in front. Brandon Moss has got a lot of movement in his swing, and he tried to stay back. Look how far out in front he is, and just no chance. Lots of movement in the hands, the lower half, the legs, and he really messed up his timing with that pitch.
That's what you call reading the bat. And Oliver picked up on it, threw the breaking ball a little bit slower. Alberto Callaspo takes a breaking ball that's low. Looked like it was high enough, but Oliver didn't get the call. Callaspo has hit as a right-handed hitter all afternoon. He chose to bat right-handed. He is a switch hitter. Boy, hitters will hang in there trying to guard against that backdoor breaking ball from Oliver, and then he'll pop him inside with the heater, and they have to bail out quickly.
That's what Callaspo is doing. You can see him. He's leaning out over the plate, and he's looking for that ball away. Oliver senses that and tried to bust him in.
Pulled just foul outside of third. Another pitch that he backed off on. Callaspo was out on that front foot.
Infielders want the ball right here. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. You want the ball hit to you. Anything on the ground. There's Callaspo. You can see he's on top of the plate and leaning out over it. Got that front shoulder closed.
There goes Reddick on the 2-2 pitch. Boy, he had a running start, and Donaldson was right behind him. Callaspo had to protect the plate with 2 strikes. Callaspo and Oliver had gone head-to-head a lot. Callaspo is 4 for 9 in their head-to-head matchups, which is a lot of at-bats against a relief pitcher.
All those years in the AL West together. Callaspo with the Angels and Oliver with the Rangers.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Oliver in relief of R.A. Dickey. Tolley going back just in case the runners take off again on the 2-2 pitch. They did earlier, and Callaspo fouled it out of play. Fly ball to left field. Bonifacio back at the track, at the wall. It's off his glove. Reddick is in to score. Donaldson's being waved home, and Reyes drops the ball. 2 runs come in as Alberto Callaspo hits one above the glove of Bonifacio in left field off the wall. Reddick scored easily, but boy, did they have a shot at the second runner, Donaldson. Bonifacio made the relay throw to Reyes, who fielded perfectly but dropped it.
Yeah, they had a great shot. First of all, the effort by Bonifacio, gets to it quickly and hits the cutoff man, and this is where they had a shot. Reyes has a terrific arm and a great chance to get Donaldson, and they just could not do it. Reyes drops it, and 2 runs score.
Boy, Bonifacio gave it the old college try and left, went up on the wall, hit just above his glove. He made a strong recovery and a good throw. Reddick was going to score easily with 2 outs.
He was playing shallow and got back to the wall very quickly, just could not come up with it.
Oliver knocks it down, and Vogt's going to reach first with his second hit of the afternoon. That's the 3rd hit of the inning off of Darren Oliver. And the A's have taken a 5-3 lead And still runners at the corners and 2 outs.
Line drive right back through the middle right here, and he saves a run. Knocks it down. That one was heading to center field. John Gibbons went to his bullpen here. He's got Brad Lincoln up. And Ollie trying to get out of this mess.
2 outs. Chris Young has come on, and he will bat for Coco Crisp. Crisp 0 for 3 with a walk. Young pinch hitting. Oliver gets ahead with a breaking ball right on the inside corner. Ball on a strike. Interesting that Crisp would be lifted for the pinch hitter. Chris Young is batting .172 against lefty pitching. Coco Crisp doesn't appear to be injured or anything. He was 0 for 3 with a walk against R.A. Dickey.
And he was also 5 for 10 in his career versus Darren Oliver.
And here's another base hit. Young delivers the RBI pinch hit single. And the A's have scored 3 here in the top of the 8th. So Bob Melvin knows his players. He sends Young up there with a .172 average. He delivers a pinch hit RBI single. And John Gibbons has made the call to the bullpen. He'll bring in Brad Lincoln to take over for Darren Oliver with 2 outs here in the 8th inning. So Oliver gives up 3 so far. Runners on base are his responsibility. Brad Lincoln into the game when we come back. Championship taking place in Glace Bay, Nova Scotia. British Columbia has fallen behind Ontario, bottom of the 2nd inning. BC has represented Canada for 8 straight years at the Williamsport Little League World Series. So East Nepean, representing Ontario, has a 4-0 lead early in that ball game. Brad Lincoln comes in, and Eric Sogard goes after the first pitch. It's a high fly ball into the outfield. Rasmus makes the catch, but Oakland has taken a 3-run lead. They lead at 6-3 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell. Baseball Day, Jerry Howarth was recognized before the game as the 2012 Jack Graney Award winner. And he got the opportunity to throw out the first pitch, and the Blue Jays are helping him out as they're going to use a cutoff man to get the ball to home plate. Mark DeRosa throws to Mark Burley, who tags out the runner at the plate. Jerry Howarth, for his contributions to baseball throughout his career, 33 years of broadcasting Blue Jay games, and congratulations to Jerry, a terrific guy that literally wears the Blue Jays' heart on his sleeve, and he is absolutely perfect for this ball club.
And just like Jerry, he gets as many people involved. He got D-Row involved in that with the cutoff man. That was pretty cool.
New pitcher for the A's will be the left-hander Sean Doolittle. Doolittle's first appearance of this season. We have not seen him. He takes over for Ryan Cook, who is the pitcher of record in this 6-3 Oakland league. Rajay Davis comes off the bench to bat for Emilio Bonifacio. Rajay, a former Oakland A's. Doolittle jumps ahead with a fastball.
Well, Doolittle does a lot. He's got a good fastball, and you're going to see a lot of it. The former everyday player turned pitcher, just 17 professional games as a pitcher, and he's in the big leagues, and he's got a big arm.
He's got a great arm, and he was a good hitter. It wasn't the fact that he couldn't hit. He was a good player with some power. But he suffered a knee injury that was probably going to jeopardize his career as a position player. So he was extended the opportunity to continue his career off the mound. He's made the most of it.
You know what else he did? As you see Chris Young staying in the game and playing center field after he pinch hit for Coco Crisp. The injury that Jose Bautista sustained last year, that wrist injury, Doolittle did that also as a minor leaguer and said, okay, that's it. The knee and now the wrist, I think I'll go to the mound, and it's worked out for him.
Blue Jays need to get some base runners. They trail by 3 in the 8th. Rajay Davis spent 4 seasons with Oakland. Stays alive. Rajay started out his big league career in Pittsburgh with the Pirates. He played 2006 and part of 2007 in Pittsburgh. Then he went to the San Francisco Giants in a trade that included Matt Morris, the fine starter, from San Francisco to Pittsburgh. Another pop into the seats and out of play. And then Rajay went from San Francisco with the Giants across the bay to play with Oakland mid-season, actually April 23rd of 2008. Oakland claimed him on waivers. Another full count pitch. Another tap foul. Rajay came to the Blue Jays in November of 2010 for a couple of minor league pitchers. Danny Farquhar, who we just saw pitch for Seattle, and Tristan Magnuson, the Canadian.
Who's back with the Blue Jays organization.
Ball 4, leadoff man reaches. Well, that's the 8th walk that Oakland has issued. Now it's time for the Smooth Move of the Game, brought to you by Bacardi Oakard Smooth Spiced Rum. Bacardi, proud partners of the Toronto Blue Jays.
You know, we're always giving this smooth move to a player or a coach. How about we give it to an umpire today? This ball up the middle. Jose Reyes makes a great play, but the smooth move is the crew chief, Tim McClellan, who helps out Jose Reyes, slowing him down, catches him, and grabs him, trying to protect that ankle. What a smooth move by Tim McClellan.
Tim McClellan's a big man, and he just put the bear hug on Reyes to keep him on his feet. Good save and a smooth move by the veteran crew chief. Jose Reyes has had a good day at the plate with Rajay Davis in the leadoff walk. He's at first. Reyes has a pair of hits. He's officially 2 for 3 with a walk in the 4th.
average up to 314. The on-base percentage 370. And that's what they need right now. Get that tying run to the plate.
A 1-2. Foul back. Well, Doolittle, there's not much mystery to what you're going to get with him. He's coming right at you. And he's got the good heater.
He'll mix in a breaking ball every now and then. But he is going to challenge you with a fastball.
There's a breaking ball, and Reyes is able to spoil a good pitch. The Blue Jays trying to battle back. They tied it up with 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th to make it a 3-3 game, and then Oakland stormed back with 3 runs in the top half of this inning. There goes Davis, and another foul back. It's a gamble to run when you're 3 runs down. You also risk the possibility of a line drive double play.
That more so than anything. And it's not a gamble that Rajai is going to get thrown out. I'll take that every day. He's only been thrown out 3 times this year. But it's the line drive right out an infielder that takes you out of an inning.
The Blue Jays have 3 stolen bases this afternoon. They've not been caught. Reyes has 1 and Laurie has a pair. Another 0-2 pitch. There goes Davis. Another foul back. Reyes is getting a pretty good feel for the velocity of Doolittle. That ball might have clipped the catcher. Foul tip.
I think it did. And that's why he is out there to talk to his pitcher to buy a little time.
Reyes strikes out. Vogt held on to the foul tip. First out of the inning. The A's have been good at back end of ball games. When leading after 7 innings, they're 51-2. When leading after 8, they're 56-1.
Only the Texas Rangers are better when leading after the 7th inning. That's in the American League. Bob Melvin can rest with Grant Balfour, Brian Cook, Sean Doolittle. That's a nice little trio that he can turn to in the late innings.
Meister Estures batting right-handed. Jose Bautista is on deck. Bautista hitless in 3 trips this afternoon. This is popped up over near the A's dugout. Brandon Moss, the first baseman, gets there, and Estures is out. The back end of this bullpen is very tough. Cook went an inning and a third, allowed just 1 hit, a walk, and a strikeout. Now Doolittle faces Bautista. Doolittle's got the cushion in this at bat. A.J. Griffin, the starter in the ball game, went 5 2/3. Gave up a career high 6 walks, but his team has the lead.
And when you talk about the cushion, I mean, he can challenge Bautista, and if he hits it out of the ballpark, team's still winning.
Brian Cook with an inning and a third of solid relief. Doolittle is ahead, 0-2. Bautista hanging tough. R.A. Dickey, the starter for the Blue Jays, battled all afternoon. He went 7 innings and left with a 3-3 score. Up and away, up and away. That's where they're keeping the ball to Bautista.
And what that does is it keeps the ball in the big part of the ballpark. If you're going to beat him, you're going to have to pull that ball down the line, and that is a tough pitch to knock out of the ballpark.
Going away again. Yeah, you're right. You can stay out there, and Bautista's a terrific pull hitter. I mean, he can pull those outside pitches, but when you start getting that fastball up to 94, 95, it's tougher.
Tough to get the ball out of the ballpark, up and away.
They went upstairs, and Bautista strikes out. A good inning for Sean Doolittle. A pair of strikeouts will go to the night. Oakland has a 3-run lead. '13 Honda Civic, Canada's best-selling car 15 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Right now, the biggest hit in the ball game for the Oakland Athletics is this drive to left field by Cayespo. What an attempt by Bonifacio. Gets to the wall, just cannot come up to it. A couple of runs are going to score for the Oakland Athletics. That drive by Cayespo, a big hit for Oakland.
Cayespo with 38 RBIs on the season.
You know, and that was his first hit with a runner in scoring position. Just come over to a team like that, and that is a welcome sight right there. Make you feel part of the ball club when you come up with a big hit.
Big hit late in the ball game. Brad Lincoln continues to work for the Blue Jays. Rajay Davis pinch hit for Emilio Bonifacio. He takes over in left field defensively. Jed Lowry, batting left-handed for the first time this afternoon, pops it up behind second base. Reyes calls for it and makes the catch. Lincoln has thrown the ball very well since he has last joined the Blue Jays. He's commanded the strike zone well. He's thrown his breaking ball well. In fact, he and Sergio Santos have both thrown the ball very well.
Better placement with his fastball, better command with his breaking ball. He can spin a curveball. He has only given up 3 hits in 11 innings now since coming back.
Yoenis Cespedes takes a breaking ball for a strike. Cespedes is 1 for 4. He doubled and scored in the 6th. Did he go around? Yes, according to Marty Foster down at first. Lincoln ahead 0-2. R.A. Dickey allowed the leadoff man to reach 4 times in his 7 innings, but he only allowed 1 runner to come around to score. He pitched out of jams all afternoon. And he did a terrific job of keeping the Blue Jays in the ball club. It wasn't until the 6th inning that Oakland broke through for 3 runs. Cespedes pulls it to third. Tough hop for Laurie. He skips it in the dirt off the glove of Encarnacion. Cespedes is around second. He's going to go to third. Here's the throw from Isturis. Not in time. Explosive speed from Cespedes. Laurie had trouble gripping the baseball in his glove. It took a tricky hop right at the end. He never got a good grip on the baseball and threw low to first.
You're absolutely right. This field is tough. He'll come up with crazy bounces. It stays down on Laurie, and he knows who's running, Cespedes, so he throws it in the dirt and gets by Encarnacion. This is where he makes the play right here, going first to third on a ball down the right field line. Makes it really without a throw.
So the error by Laurie allows Cespedes to go all the way to third. Josh Reddick now the infield drawn in. Blue Jays can't afford to fall any further behind.
Yeah, they got the big home run hitter up here. Josh Reddick, what a series he's put together. He's doubled his home run output this year in 2 games.
How about that? Came in with 5 home runs and hit 3 home runs on Friday night. 2 more yesterday afternoon.
3 of them I know have come on fastballs. Very good fastball hitter.
His 5 home runs in a 2-game span match a franchise record. Mark McGwire was the last to do it when he hit 5 June 10th and 11th of '95. McGwire also had the same 5 homer total in 2 games in '87. 5 home runs in 2 games ties the major league record. It's been done 29 times. This seems like a lot. He's the second player in as many seasons to hit 5 in 2 games, joining Josh Hamilton, who had a 4-homer game against Baltimore last year. Prior to that, it was Travis Hafner in 2004 that hit 5 home runs in a span of 2 games.
When he was with the Indians, it doesn't look like they want to have anything to do with Donaldson, right? Or excuse me, with Reddick here. Donaldson on deck. Look how far outside Tolley's setting up. So they're just going to take the bat out of his hand.
Yeah, there was no reason to challenge Reddick right there. A sac fly would give him another run and a 4-run lead. So Lincoln pitches around Reddick, and he will work to Josh Donaldson, who's had another good day at the plate. Donaldson with 2 more hits this afternoon. He's been on base all 4 plate appearances with a hit by pitch and a walk.
And Josh Donaldson, if you look at his numbers, a good hitter late in a ball game.
Pops this one up on the infield. Reyes at short makes the catch. Donaldson retired on 1 pitch. Good job by Lincoln to pitch around Josh Reddick. Now he has to deal with another left-handed bat in Brandon Moss. Moss, the first baseman, homered in the 3-run 6th inning. Two and 0, double barrel action, and they're both right-handers. The right-hander on the left is Dan Otero. The right-hander on the right is Grant Balfour, the closer.
Yeah, and Balfour will come in here if they don't score that run at third base. If they do, and it's a non-save situation, it looks like they're going to start with Otero in the bottom of the 9th.
3-0 to Brandon Moss. Balfour pitched the 8th inning yesterday in a 5-4 Blue Jays lead. He struck out 2, retired the side in order. 3-0, 2 outs. Green light, tapped back to the mound. Lincoln will end the inning. He strands a pair. Blue Jays are down by 3. It'll be the cleanup hitter, Edwin Encarnacion, to lead things off. Then Adam Lind and Colby Rasmus. Blue Jays looking to mount a comeback, and they'll be facing Grant Balfour, the closer for Oakland. Ball on Sportsnet 360 is FC Edmonton Soccer. They'll take on San Antonio. And then more baseball on East is Baltimore, San Francisco, all across the board. East Ontario, West and Pacific. The Orioles are in San Francisco to take on the Giants, coming up right after this game. Grant Balfour on to work tonight, trying to protect this 3-run lead. Balfour looking for his 30th save of the season.
29 for 30 in saves, which leads the American League in save percentage at 97%. He is 5th in saves with those 29 saves. Righties 215, lefties 163. He's only given up 31 hits in 45 innings this year, and he doesn't walk anybody. That's why that whip is right at 1, which is excellent. He'll come right after you with a fastball and throw a little wrinkle curveball in there at you.
Edwin Encarnacion has gone 0 for 4 so far this afternoon. Blue Jays once again managing just 6 hits against Oakland. They had 5 yesterday. And yesterday they won 5-4. Grant Balfour. First pitch to Encarnacion is a fastball that misses up and away.
Same 3 batters that he faced in yesterday's ball game.
Encarnacion flied out to center, then Lind struck out, and Rasmus right behind him. He too struck out. So they know what they're dealing with. They faced Balfour yesterday. The A's have walked 8 batters this afternoon. That's just one off their season high. 2 of those walks were intentional walks. A.J. Griffin, the starter, walked 6 in his 5 2/3.
You know, just like R.A. Dickey, he battled. He went out there. He didn't have his best stuff, but he gave a fine effort. Pitched into the 6th inning.
Now, that's what you have to do as a starting pitcher. I mean, you can't go out there every day expecting to have your A game together. And Griffin never really caved in. Kept his team within striking distance, and sure enough, they struck back in the 6th. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the foul back.
Balfour will pitch at the top end of that strike zone, the upper end with that fastball. So you got to set your sights down. He comes right over the top.
Full count. Now the Blue Jays obviously have enough thunder to come back in this game. Encarnacion has 30 homers, Lind has 14, and Rasmus has 18. The 3 batters scheduled to bat, but they need to get some runners on base. Full count. Might have swung at ball 4. Tough to sit back and wait against Balfour. He comes with that good fastball. You got to decide quickly. Take it or swing, and with 2 strikes, it's tough to lay off.
Yeah, and with the 3-run lead, you got to figure that he's going to challenge him with that heater. They don't walk many either out of that bullpen. In fact, they have the fewest walks per 9 inning in the American League.
Ball 4. A leadoff walk. We'll check in again with the Canadian Little League Championship game in Glace Bay, Nova Scotia, and Ontario has a 5-1 lead. They move to the bottom of the 4th. The winner of this game will advance to Williamsport, Pennsylvania for the Little League World Series. East Nepean representing Ontario. So Encarnacion is aboard. The A's have now matched their season high with 9 walks. But the Blue Jays haven't been able to capitalize. So far this game, the Jays have stranded 12 base runners. Lynn takes ball 1. The Blue Jays have gone just 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. They're not there yet, but that has led to 12 left on base.
We talked about it early today when they left those runners on base. Will it come back to hurt them?
Chop ball off home plate. Balfour waits on it and throws Lind out. Encarnacion moves to second. But the Blue Jays have just 2 outs left. That's all Balfour wants to do right now is get outs.
Yeah, they're counting outs. That runner means nothing. Neither does the guy at the plate. So he'll challenge Kobe Rasmus.
Brett Lawrie is on deck. Laurie's had a 2-hit day. Rasmus has gone over 3 with a walk. Kobe's 27th birthday today.
Time to do something special on your birthday.
Get on base.
Get on base. That's all you're looking for right now. That's as special as it gets. When you're up against a closer who's only blown 1 game all year long, you're looking for an opening. And he's given a little bit of an opening. He's cracked the door open by walking the leadoff batter.
Oakland has been struggling of late. Today's the first time Oakland hasn't had at least a share of first place since July 10th. Texas has been hot, and they have passed Oakland for the lead in the AL West. There's a strike. It's 1-1. Texas has won 6 straight. They've won 9 of their last 10. While Oakland has sputtered coming out of the chute since the All-Star break. Just 9-11 before this game today. Balfour may have gotten the call. Ball looked like it was off the plate, but it's 1-2.
He is a big reason why this team is 56-1 when leading after 8 innings. He and those other guys down in that bullpen.
Rasmus stays alive. There's no question about it. Grant Balfour is battle tested. Last year down the stretch, he pitched great when the A's were trying to close ground on Texas. He appeared in the final 5 games of the 2012 regular season and didn't allow a base runner.
How about that? Not even a base runner.
I mean, you can't face more adversity than Balfour was up against at that point.
You know, and you got to hit your way on. I know we walked Encarnacion, but he just doesn't walk anybody. Takes his time. He's very deliberate on the mound. He is in no hurry.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Blue Jays trying to rally in the ninth. Not much margin for error for the A's, so Balfour wants to make sure he checks in with his catcher, Stephen Vogt.
And he has a clear game plan of what he wants to do with Colby Rasmus. He and Stephen Vogt wanting to get together on that one. The A's have really pounded Colby up. They've really used the fastball about letter high against Rasmus.
Now there's Seth. 2-2. Balfour reaching back for a little extra, came out of his delivery and missed badly.
Well, he really did. He really fell off to the first base side of the mound, trying to stick that fastball up and away.
Breaking ball. Rasmus strikes out. Balfour picks up the 2nd out of the inning.
Show him the heater up and away. They pitched him up and away until he got to 2 strikes, and then it was a breaking ball right over the top to pick up the 2nd out. That's a good overhand curveball for the 2nd out.
Balfour is 4th in the American League in saves. Jim Johnson of the Orioles has 39. Mariano Rivera 35. Joe Nathan 34. Holland has 31. He's actually 5th in the American League. Brett Lawrie, after going hitless in 3 at-bats yesterday, has had a 2-for-4 afternoon. Laurie's average at 241.
I'd like to see the same approach he had his last at bat when he singled to right field. Stayed behind that ball nicely.
Two and 0. Blue Jays need Lawrie to reach base to bring the tying run to the plate. They trail by 3. J.P. Arancibia has grabbed the bat. He's on deck. He would bat for Josh Thole. 3-0. Thole's a left-handed bat. Arancibia, of course, right-handed, but J.P. has home run power.
Way more power, and that's why I'm surprised that Balfour is so careful with Laurie. Trying to nibble on those corners. He's not the tying run. That guy is right there. 3 pitches off the plate.
Got to take a couple strikes here. You need to get on. It's the only thing that matters for Brett Laurie. Get on base. Keep the game alive. 3-0. On the corner. Balfour walked the leadoff man this inning, Edwin Encarnacion. Two outs, Oakland with a 6-3 lead. Hit in the air and deep. Reddick on the run. He's not going to get it. It bounces off the wall. Encarnacion is in to score, and Laurie, a 3-hit day. And the tying run will come to the plate. Another great approach by Brett Laurie, going the opposite way.
Yeah, going the other way, using the middle of the field much more on Brett Laurie bobblehead day. Keeps the game alive with a base hit to right field. You fall behind 3-1, you got to challenge him with a fastball. He does. Laurie stays behind that one and drives that ball out to right field.
Boy, does he look good at the plate right now. Staying on everything. J.P. Arancibia will come off the bench to bat for Josh Tolley. Arancibia's first at bat against Balfour. Bounced in the dirt.
And he knows JP likes that first ball fastball, so he starts him off with a breaking ball. Outfield deep. Trying to cut off. That's the tying run. You don't want him to get to second base.
J.P. Arancibia is 0 for his last 19. One swing of the bat would erase all those memories. Been a tough year with runners in scoring position, but before we continue, Kurt Young out to the mound. Pitching coach to have a chat with Grant Balfour.
Very deliberate. More so than I ever remember with Grant Balfour. Taking a lot of time in between pitches and missing his spots. Walking the leadoff hitter, and he'd come around to score.
Balfour has allowed 5 home runs this season, but opponents have hit just 190 against him. A run in here in the bottom of the 9th. Brett Laurie at second. Crowd on their feet. Two and one.
Arancibia has already hit 1 home run for the Blue Jays this year. That tied a game in the 9th inning off of Fernando Rodney. Looking to do the same thing right here.
Ball gets away from Vogt, and Laurie will go to third. It's ball 3. It's a 3-1 count. Wild pitch on Grant Balfour. It's been a rough inning for Balfour. He started off by walking the leadoff man.
1-2-3 inning yesterday, not here today. Breaking ball. 2-1 count. J.P. Arencibia lays off of it. 24 pitches now in the 9th inning for Balfour. Blue Jays making him work.
Arencibia's last home run came right here at Rogers Center on the 19th of July against Tampa Bay. Three balls and a strike. Rajay Davis on deck. He entered the game as a pinch hitter in the 8th. Balfour very deliberate, taking his time. Home run cut, dipped underneath it. It's a full count, 2 outs. Ball 4. Arencibia walk, second walk of the inning.
Just being so careful. He didn't want to give up the home run. So J.P. Arencibia kept everything away that time. Tried to guide it in there and ended up walking him. And now the tying run's on base.
Oakland has set a new season high for walks in a game. They've walked 10. A team that doesn't walk anybody normally. They came into the game with the fewest walks per 9 innings and fewest walks in the majors.
That's the starters and the bullpen. Both of them leading that, and it's just been a struggle for them.
Rajay Davis takes ball 1. Davis walked in his only at bat as a pinch hitter in the 8th. Laurie at third, Arencibia at first, a run in. Ball 2. The A's with a 56-1 record when leading after 8.
Because of that guy right there, he just doesn't look in rhythm right now. They keep calling timeout. The pitching coach comes out to talk. The catcher comes out to talk. He walks around. There's just no rhythm in what he's doing here in the 9th inning.
Well, remember, Stephen Vogt is catching and starting for the 14th time this season, so he hasn't worked an awful lot with Grant Balfour. So Balfour looks to be very patient when he calls him out, as if he's explaining his game plan. Two balls, no strikes. Wow. That is a tough strike given the way that Balfour has struggled with his control.
Yep.
And the Blue Jays got a tough break on that called strike.
And where those other pitches were, Rajay Davis thinks that ball is outside and maybe low.
Three and 1. The A's outfield is playing no doubles. They have to play deep to try to cut off a run. They'll give up a single. They're going to protect against the extra base hit.
It's that guy at first base. He's got to come to him. Can't put him on and then put that tying run in scoring position.
Here's the 3-1. Full count. So Arencibia, the base runner at first base, will be off on the pitch. Brandon Moss just alerting Balfour that he's going to play behind the runner. So Arencibia can get a running start. The game is on the line. There goes Aaron Sebia. Ball forward, the bases are loaded. Three walks in the inning. 11 in the game.
32 pitches, 18 outside the strike zone.
Jose Reyes in the 7th inning yesterday afternoon.
Off of a pitcher who hasn't given up a home run in a year, Ryan Cook does this. And in a one-run game, that ends up being the big hit for the Blue Jays. That put him up by 2. Can he do it again here this afternoon? They got the right guy at first base if he hits an extra base hit in Rajai Davis.
He can fly. Jose Reyes with 2 outs and the bases loaded. And Balfour still not set.
No, he hasn't looked comfortable as soon as he's taken the mound here in the 9th inning at all.
He worked a perfect 8th inning in a 5-4 Jays win yesterday. Reyes takes the strike. The Blue Jays for the afternoon just 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. They've stranded 12. Reyes has a pair of grand slams. Breaking ball is fouled back.
And he was right on that breaking ball, too. That didn't fool Jose Reyes one bit. He has shown some pop as the rally caps are out. The rally towel. But he has shown some pop over the last week or so.
Grant Balfour appears to be complaining to the umpire about the baseball not being rubbed up. This time of the game, chances are you'll get a batch of baseballs that weren't rubbed up by the umpire. It's been a long game, and a lot of baseballs have been fouled into the seats. Blue Jays down to their final strike. Upstairs. Cespedes has 5 assists in left field. Chris Young has a much better arm than Coco Crisp, who started in center. A year ago, Josh Reddick won a Gold Glove. He's got 3 assists this year, had 15 a year ago.
Yep, they're just not running on him anymore.
Bases are loaded. Reyes stays alive, too close to take.
Yep, that high fastball once again from Balfour. And he's not happy with those baseballs.
And look at it, he's going back to McClellan again, says, rub this one up, mate. Balfour trying to get a good grip on the baseball. And he's uncomfortable.
Yep. Takes a lot of time in between the pitches to get comfortable.
Another 1-2 pitch. On the ground, Callaspo at second. And Balfour gets out of it. The Blue Jays leave the bases loaded. They end up stranding 15 and take a 6-4 loss. Oakland has won 2 of the first 3 games. We will be back tomorrow afternoon. Stay tuned. Right after this game, it's FC Edmonton Soccer. Baseball on all 4 channels. Orioles at San Francisco. Thanks for watching.